Coming up on Mountain News this morning, new information about the officer-involved shooting in Laurel County. Plus, what is in store for Perry County as we enter the new year?
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. We're just past that 5:30 mark this Friday morning, and today is January 3rd, 2025. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Now, Megan, we're entering the weekend and people should definitely be weather aware.
You should. We are under a first alert weather day as we're heading into the weekend, starting Saturday and continuing even far out as Tuesday for cold temperatures as well. So it's going to be a cold one. Make sure you have a coat. If you don't already have one, make sure you go out and buy one because you're going to need it. Let's take a look at those temperatures out the door right now, though. Here's this temperature change graphic. I point this out to show that you're not going to be expecting that much different from last morning as you're heading out, with the exception of Monticello. A little bit warmer in Monticello, 10 degrees, but those temperatures still are quite cold. So what you expected yesterday is what you can kind of expect for today. So if you wish that you had a little bit more time yesterday to prepare for the day, make sure you're incorporating that into your schedule this morning. Now, we will have those temperatures warm up very slightly as you're heading into the afternoon, the mid to upper 30s. Here's live pinpoint Doppler radar though this morning, and as you can see, there is a snow chance as you're heading into your morning hours. That will stay with us all morning long and moving across eastern Kentucky, tapering off as you're heading into the early afternoon hours, but you could still see a snowflake or two as you're heading into the evening hours. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. New information in the death of a Laurel County man shot and killed in his home by London police officers. A search warrant obtained reveals the case centers around a stolen weed eater. Samantha Valentino has the story.
He shouldn't have died like that. He was too good a man.
Kentucky State Police say Douglas Harless was shot and killed by a London police officer during an attempt to serve a search warrant on the night of December 23rd. They say it happened at Harless's home, 511 Vanzant Road in Lilly. Dispatch audio says police were attempting to serve a warrant at 489 Vanzant. Court records say the warrant was connected to an investigation regarding stolen lawn equipment. Hobart Buttrey is accused of stealing a weed eater from property public records show is owned by the Laurel County Judge Executive. He was arrested just hours before Harless was killed. His citation says he told police the weed eater was at a home in Lilly.
We came to the Laurel County Correctional Center to get Buttrey's side of the story.
I told them on Vanzant Road there was a weed eater there, and they took it to where they wanted to go with that.
Buttrey says he used to live down the road from Harless at 515 Vanzant, but he hasn't lived there in close to a year.
And they went to the wrong address, is what that was.
Buttrey says he got to know Harless while living there and that he was a good man who didn't deserve what happened to him.
I am sorry for what happened to that man. I really am. It was never supposed to happen like that. Because if I knowed anything like that, I would never bothered a weed eater. And that's all it was a weed eater.
In Laurel County, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
We have filed several open records requests to obtain a copy of the search warrant London police were attempting to serve that night. As of yesterday, the Laurel County Court says they still have not received a copy. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office is investigating another shooting. Deputies say it happened off Hopper Creek Road, roughly 9 miles from London, at around 2:45 yesterday afternoon. Deputies say a 43-year-old man was shot in the hip. He was flown to UK Hospital for treatment. Investigators have not yet identified a suspect in the shooting. A woman is behind bars following a shooting in Clay County. Police were called out to Advent Health following a report of a victim having a gunshot wound on Monday. The victim told police her and Amanda Roark got into an argument which led to the victim being shot. Police later found Roark on Coal Hollow Road. Roark was charged with wanton endangerment, assault, and tampering with physical evidence. A man is in jail following a standoff in Madison County. Police say Larry Castile barricaded himself Wednesday night inside an apartment in Richmond. Police say they arrested Castile without anyone getting hurt. They are charging him in connection to outstanding warrants. In Jackson County, a man is facing charges after he reportedly rammed his vehicle into another, injuring 4 minors in the process. The incident happened last week. According to a complaint warrant, Preston Lakes used his truck to ram into the back of a minor, which led to 4 minors being hurt. 2 had to be treated by EMS. Police found Lakes at a home. A couple of days later, he was arrested and taken to the Jackson County Detention Center. The river search for a missing Johnson County man has been suspended, with today marking 3 weeks since his disappearance. For the last 6 days, first responders have been searching the Tug Fork River and its bank from Warfield to the Ohio border, looking for David Blevins Jr., who deputies believe was last seen running toward the river in Warfield. After searching with drones, canines, boats, and sonar equipment with the help of several agencies, Sheriff John Kirk says they are calling an end to the water search and will continue the investigation on land.
It's been a large operation. Takes a lot of people to do this. A lot of, all this is either volunteers. Some of these agencies are paid people. A lot of time and money invested here to, just make sure that if he is in the river that we could recover him.
Kirk stressed that the department is not positive that Blevins entered the water, but he has not been seen since that night. So anyone with information is asked to call 911. Kentucky State Police are still looking for a missing man out of Knox County. Here is a picture of Charles Robert Smith. He was last seen on Sasser Branch off Kentucky 1803. State police say Smith's family was last in touch with him in December 2023. If you have any information about this case, you can contact the Harlan KSP Post at 606-573-3131. A University of Kentucky football player is accused of driving recklessly and having marijuana. That incident happened on the Bluegrass Parkway in Nelson County. Jordan Lovett was arrested last week. In an arrest citation, it says he was racing another vehicle. Lovett was arrested and released the next day. His arraignment is scheduled for Tuesday. As we try to make strides toward positive changes in 2025, leaders in Perry County say they hope this year is even better than the last. I sat down with them to find out what is on the horizon.
Exciting things ahead in 2025.
Perry County is saying goodbye to Christmas decorations and hello to the projects of 2025.
We're excited. We got a lot of projects that we think will get started this year. We got a lot of projects that we'll be working on in 2025 that may not start until 2026 or later, but there's a lot of activity and a lot of progress going on in Perry County.
Perry County Judge Executive Scott Alexander says he expects work on the new Buckhorn water plant to begin this year and for the Big Branch Interconnect to be completed.
So we've got to address the water, and those things will really help us do that as we grow. And housing's been one of the critical things here even before the flood, but it's become a catastrophic event after the flood.
Scott McReynolds with the Housing Development Alliance says after building 32 homes in 2024, the goal is to do even more.
When we left the office the day before the flood, we were working with over 100 families who wanted to become homeowners. All the housing being damaged and washed away obviously just added to those numbers. The good news, if there is good news with this, is that it brought a lot of attention and a lot of resources. And so we've been able to increase our production.
Alexander agrees improving the county would not be possible without funding on the state and federal levels. Alexander says there will also be a focus on adventure tourism. The Kentucky Chamber of Commerce is preparing for its Chamber Day event next Thursday. It is the state's largest gathering of business and political leaders, and it takes place in Lexington at the Central Bank Center. Governor Beshear and legislative leaders from both parties will talk about Kentucky's economy and the upcoming General Assembly session. Officials with the University of the Cumberlands and the Department of Fish and Wildlife have agreed to open a new wildlife management area. The area will comprise of more than 10,000 acres of university-owned land in Whitley and McCreary counties. The agreement will provide public access for hunting, fishing, and related outdoor recreation. And you might notice it cost a little more for your food and drinks in Hazard. A new restaurant tax began Wednesday. Officials say the 3% tax will go directly toward tourism. They hope to use the money to build a sportsplex off Highway 80. Just ahead, the 82nd Golden Globes Awards are just days away. We take a look at what you can expect in the final preparations for the show.
And temperatures will continue to drop throughout the week, with temperatures feeling much cooler. I'll have the wind chill coming up.